Hello again, this is Jasmina, and in this video I'm going to talk about the idea of buildings being mountains. Some practitioners do consider buildings to be mountains for Feng Shui purposes. Of course, they aren't mountains, but we're just talking about Feng Shui purposes. Most masters do not have this belief, but some may. I don't know every single master that's out there. There may be some that do, but I don't know any. I also do not consider buildings to be mountains because mountains, hills, or higher ground are solid or mostly solid. They could have a cave or two, but they're really basically solid. Whereas buildings truly are mostly air. They don't have their walls are usually as thin as they can possibly be to function because that is the space that you need to live in, and humans need air. Also, mountains can be shaped by wind and water and be largely unaffected. Occasionally there'll be big changes, but when you look at the mountain as a whole, it's small. And they can remain visibly unchanged for hundreds, if not thousands, of human lifetimes. So if you have a mountain in your area, unless it like explodes in a big blast of a volcano and vanishes, then that mountain will be there for the rest of the time you have of your life. So this is why this is good. But if you have a building that is shaped by wind or water, it usually has to be destroyed because it's no longer livable, because it's not safe anymore. So there's a lot of differences between mountains and buildings. Now, if you get a reading from me or an analysis, a Feng Shui analysis of me, and I tell you you have a mountain in such and such a direction, and when you look, all you can see is a building, well, that building will have been built on higher ground. So I would have looked at your topography, your local topography, and I will see what direction is higher, because there's very few places that are truly at the low point. And it's not the building, it's the higher ground that gives you the chi. I will tend to call it a mountain because in Feng Shui, mountains also mean hills and higher ground. We just don't have a good single word in English for this term. However, if you live in Egypt and you can see the Great Pyramids, then yes, it is probably the Great Pyramid that's counted as a mountain because they are largely solid. They are built with tons and tons of solid limestone blocks. And there are few tiny passages and a few small chambers, but when you look at the whole thing, it is basically solid. So that is a building I would consider a mountain. So that's basically it. I just wanted to tell you my viewpoint on mountains or buildings being mountains. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Thank you again for listening.